So it's the first ride for 2022. Starting off at the pedestrian Tyne Tunnel in Jarrow, which goes through to Howden on the north side. We're going to track the Tyne past all of Newcastle's bridges. Don't want to disclose where my destination is now. It is past the Tyne bridges, but I might have set the bar a bit too high for today's ride. I've got a cold, had it for a few days now, as you can probably tell by my voice. But I'll keep you posted, and hopefully we'll reach that destination. So if you're doing the coast to coast from Whitehaven to Tynemouth or South Shields, which is the official end of National Cycle Network Route 72, Hadrian Cycleway, which is where I am right now. So behind me is Hadrian Road Metro Station. So I'll give you a bit of marker where we are. So if you're near the end of your route and you're thinking, where can I stay in a hotel? Or maybe you just can't make the finish, which is about 3 or 4 miles from where I am here, I can definitely not recommend the Hadrian Lodge Hotel behind me here, because although there's a nice sign there promising ensuite rooms and parking on site, there's actually no hotel here anymore. Just a construction yard of offices made up of porta cabins. I quite like coming through here because it was just wasteland about a year or two ago, but now the sign still remains telling you what used to be here. So we gutted when this sign's removed. But yeah, if you're doing the coast to coast, definitely don't look this hotel up on the internet.
Infinite dreams, I can't deny them. Infinity is hard to comprehend. I could hear those screams even in my wildest dreams. Suffocation, waking in a sweat, scared to fall asleep again in case the dream begins again.
So I'm about 1 to 2 miles under halfway there. Having a good little day out, but fitness wise things don't seem too good. I'm not sure I'll make it all the way there. I've got lights in case I have to ride back in the dark. Hopefully that won't be for too long if that does end up happening though. Got the famous Tyne Bridge behind me there, looking pretty cool. Yep. So we'll crack on, see how far we get, and I'll keep you posted.
Someone chasing and cannot move, standing rigid and nightmare statue. What a dream! Where will it end? And will I transcend? Restless sleep, the mind's in turmoil. What nightmare ends?
Land of Iron and Oak Centre here, Gateshead, on the Derwent Walk, which is now NCN 14. I've done about 4, maybe 5 miles since I last checked in at the Tyne Bridge. From here though, it's uphill to the destination for the next, I think it's about 5 or 6 miles from here, and that's me turning around point, but it's all uphill, and I'm definitely suffering with leg energy today. So hopefully I'll get up there. There's no time limit on the day, just darkness will creep in because it's winter time. But okie dokie, let's get to it.
It's getting to me, so scared.
So I've done the slog climb from the Land of Iron and Oak Visitor Centre Cafe, and I'm now on the Nine Arches Viaduct. This is an old railway line which goes up towards Concert, and down there is Gateshead, and down that way in a straight line is easier than coming up from the Land of Iron and Oak in a sense, because it's just a straight line, constant incline. But the path I've taken from the Land of Iron and Oak Centre through a windy one, it's a bit more interesting. You get to track the river a bit more, so it's nicer that way. I do quite like an old railway line that's now a walking and cycle route. So for example, Swalwell station used to be down there. So if you go in that straight line, the route of the old railway, you come towards an old platform. All you really see though is just the stones along the hedge side of the platform shape on one side of what we're in the track. I don't know which direction the train's been travelling in. But so yeah, I'm on the Nine Arches Viaduct here. You can see behind me the Gibbside Monument behind me. It's a bit small there, but the thing with viaducts is I love them. But the problem is the view that I think is really nice of them is when you're not on them. So when you're on them like this, it's not really much to look at, to be honest, you know, but it's great what the railway lines that have been here once upon a time have left behind. Although some people do say it'd be nice to have the railway lines back for the transport links. Haven't got an opinion on whether to put them in or not. I'm on both sides of the fence. I do like what's left behind. So if this viaduct had been demolished, I don't think it would have been pretty cool, you know. So I do like a good old viaduct on an old disused railway line. So I don't know if you can see that there, the building on the left. You probably see that building in the background there. You might not be able to make out the stonework here. It looks like an old platform. And if you look below the modern security fence, you can see a little iron tubular fence. So it looks like it might have been a station once upon a time. But I did do some research and I found out that the building on the left there behind all the trees is an old engine shed. So this is probably not a station as such. It's probably just some workings. But I just love what's left behind on these old disused railways.
Now into deep, even though it's rich new heights are
Right, I've made it to the destination, Chopwell Woods. There's a couple of mountain bike trails here on the board. I wasn't really intending on riding them because I'm pretty knackered. I've done 21.6 miles of 2 hours moving time, but I've actually been left the house 2 hours 40 minutes. So all the stopping, videos, photographs adds to time, not to mention my legs are done in. Yeah, got some dinner, which if you're not from the northeast, I mean lunch, because where I'm from, we'll say dinner to mean 12 o'clock meal, and we'll say tea to mean evening 5-6 p.m. meal, rather than lunch and dinner. But not to worry, just a little insight there to the lingo that I use. Yeah, so I might go down the mountain bike trails just gently, but the thing is, I've got a really horrible climb to get back up. There's also a pump track here in the village, but again, that's a bit down, a bit further out, about 1.5 miles. Probably downhill, then uphill to get back. So I'll see how I go, and I'll keep you posted on what I get up to here in Chopwell Woods.
the restless nights. It makes me wonder, makes me think there's more to this. I'm on the brink. It's not the fear of what's beyond. It's just that I might not respond.
This is one little feature I like about visiting Chopwell Woods, whether it's walking or riding mountain bike, it's popping to see these. So there used to be a railway line through here once upon a time. So they've been painted. One's in the National Coal Board colours and signage, and the other one I believe's in the Concert Ironworks livery. So Concert's not too far from here. There was a big massive steel manufacturer in town, which when that went, a lot of industry got lost in the town. Like a lot of things in the northeast here, you know, places on the River Tyne, the River Wear, there's a lot of shipbuilding, a lot of coal mining, and all that's like gone. So it makes for little quiet places to walk like this today, but you know, there's a lot of industry being lost. But yeah, so I really like coming to visit these. So I'll have a little sit down, have a sandwich and a chocolate biscuit, maybe a banana if I'm feeling healthy, and we'll get cracking. So I've just rode a tiny little bit of trail between the car park and the start of the Powerline Red Trail. And it's pretty sloppy, the mud's pretty slippy. So the rest of the trail's gonna be the same, if not worse. Because here, December 2020, and it was just a mud fest. But you know, since I've rode here, that's an achievement in itself. So, I mean, I've got my tyres pumped up with quite high pressure, since I've rode a lot of like hard compacted cycle routes to get here, to keep the flow moving. I could drop my tyre pressures, pump them back up to ride this trail, but since I'm not padded up with my armour and I've got to get home on my own steam, I think it's safe just to not bother. You know, I've had a good day out. What I'll do though, because there's a road that leads down to another little forest kind of path, I'll go down to the pump track.
Too many things are evident. You tell me you're an unbeliever, spiritualist, but me I'm neither. Wouldn't you like to know the truth of what's out there to have the proof? I find out just which side you're on. Where would you end? In heaven or in hell?
So I've skipped the mountain bike trails in the forest and came through the Chopwell village to the pump track. This pump track is made by Velo Solutions. They've made quite a few in the country, not just this country, Europe I believe as well, and they're really good quality. So the one with the white lines behind me is more of a beginner track. It's a short little oval shape with the bumps and the berms. The idea is you don't pedal around it, you pump, which means you unload the bike as it comes at the bump, then push down in the front as it's going over the bump to carry momentum by using energy just by pushing. The red one is longer, it's got more berms, which is the banked corners by the way, and it's got more jumps, bumps. The red one's actually quite a cool layout. It's actually 2 tracks in one, back to back, so they mirror each other. So if you want to race against your friend, you start at the start point back to back, and you both ride around your own little loop, and whoever gets back to the start line first wins, because both tracks are equally the same layout. I think just one runs anti-clockwise and one runs clockwise. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little thing. It'd be great to see something like this in a lot of towns in England and the UK. So with the success of the BMX, the Olympics and stuff like that, hopefully this will be the future, that more of these will be popping up. Because back in the 1980s, you had BMX tracks in a lot of towns. Sometimes even some towns and areas had a few. So Newcastle had a few dotted around its area, and they all fell by the wayside or got flattened due to antisocial behaviour of motorbikes using them. So it's time for lunch, or dinner as I say, because I haven't had it yet. Have me food, and then we'll head back home. Probably not the best example of pump track riding right there. These tracks are designed more for rigid bikes, so your BMXs with no suspension, because your suspension absorbs the energy if you're trying to push down to get the pump action going. So on my full suspension mountain bike day, which is the wrong bike for the journey I've done anyway, they aren't super efficient for this kind of thing, but it's still fun nonetheless. No Jam Donuts. Boo! Bit of a dark finish to the ride. So we've done 50 miles in 4 hours and 45 minutes ride time. But I've actually been left the house 6.5 hours. So all the little breaks, sit down, have me lunch and stuff like that all adds up. You know, taking videos, photographs adds up. But don't worry, I'm sure you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry there's not been a great deal of talking to the camera on the way back. It's a failure on my part. I should have took me bigger power bar to recharge my phone, and we took the little one, which I charged at Chopwell Woods, and my phone didn't get much charge at all. You know, I should have prepared a bit better. So on the way out, I was using my phone to listen to a lot of music, because I was by myself. I'll try and share some of that music in the video. You might have already seen it already, but yeah, should have been a bigger power bar and it would have lasted longer. I'm sure it's an alright video for you guys to watch. See you later.